Coming up on After the Whistle, we take you into the best from District 6 basketball and get ready for individual tournaments in wrestling.
Plus, a close look at Penn State's recent duel against Rutgers in the Bryce Jordan Center.
And we'll check out a Nittany Lions late-game dominant performance against Iowa. All that and more coming up on After the Whistle. Hello and welcome to After the Whistle. I'm Andrew Deal.
And I'm Jenna Wisman. Today we'll continue our coverage of the best action from boys and girls District 6 sports. Girls and boys basketball is in the midst of their season and wrestling is in championship season.
Let's kick things off with Phillipsburg Osceola, who looks to end their season on a good note, hosting the Hollidaysburg Golden Tigers. The Golden Tigers are coming off a 52-27 win over Bald Eagle Friday night, while the Mounties are on a 3-game skid. Couple of minutes into the first quarter, Luke Peterson gets the ball stripped by Jake Heilman, who has a free pass to the cup for the layup. Hollidaysburg goes up 6-2. Now to the second quarter, Heilman finds Cole Walters. He pulls up from 3:22 and buries the triple. Golden Tigers lead 29-17. A minute later, Heilman to a cutting Leighton Weimert at the low block for an easy 2. Hollidaysburg continues its lead to the second half. Now loose ball comes up the Mounties. Cameron Mason grabs it, but Heilman swipes the pass and lays it in. Golden Tigers still building on their lead. Later in the half, Tigers on the break. John Holtzapfel to Jacob Snyder. Then Kason Metzger gets the layup to go. Golden Tigers extending the lead 63-21.
Wow.
Hollidaysburg on cruise control and Phillipsburg with the 46-point win. Tigers take down the Mountaineers 79-33. Hollidaysburg finishes the season 18-4. and are awaiting its matchup in the District 6 playoffs. As for Phillipsburg Osceola, their season ends with a 4-18 record.
Let's take a trip to Penns Valley, where the 17-3 Bishop Guilfoyle Marauders are looking to finish the regular season perfect in conference play against the 11-10 Penns Valley area Rams on Monday night. The Penns Valley Rams student section is ready to go. Right before the end of the first half, Tarian Consiglio swings the ball across the court for Danny High to knock down a 3. After halftime, it's Consiglio again dishing it to Trevor Rem, who buries yet another 3, 46-13. Marauders in control. Off the rebound, Fletcher Ironside finds Spencer Allhouse in the corner, and he doesn't hesitate to pull up from downtown. 45-19, Marauders still lead. Start of the fourth quarter, who else but Consiglio connects with High for a second time. It's a 3-point contest, ladies and gentlemen. With time ticking down, Rem ends the 3-point contest with this slam down. The Marauders walk away with the 69-35 win while ending the season with a perfect 17-0 conference record. Bishop Guilfoyle sits at the top of the Laurel Highlands standings with an 18-3 record. For Penns Valley, it falls to 11-11 on the year, placing them 11th in the conference.
The Bellefonte boys basketball team traveled to Tyrone on Thursday night. A win for the Golden Eagles, however, would give them sole possession of third place in the district. Tyrone celebrated their senior night at this game, and while that handshake is cool, what they did on the court is even colder. Early in the first, it's Sam Crilly with the 3-ball, putting the Golden Eagles up 7-2. Tyrone was pulling ahead in the second, but Bellefonte was trying to get an offensive rhythm going. The Red Raiders swinging it around the perimeter until guard Peyton Vankis knocks it down for the triple. Tyrone would still be up by 17, though. 4:30 left in the third. Draven Crowell grabs the rebound and chucks it to Crilly, who lays it in uncontested. The Golden Eagles continue to pile it on. Tyrone would cruise to a dominating win over Bellefonte with a final score of 63-38. The Golden Eagles improved to 16-6, while the Red Raiders fall to 7-14.
Saturday saw two 6A foes collide when McDowell made the trip to face State College. We pick things up with under 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter. McDowell's Leo Finazzo makes the long 2. McDowell up 16-11. Waning seconds of the first quarter, State High gets a turnover, and Nate Price from way deep. McDowell leads 20-16. Another 4 minutes remaining in the second quarter. State High Zion Nichols finds Charlie Yartz. McDowell still in front, 27-22. Midway through the second half, Reed Melvin knocks it down for State High. The Little Lions still trail 45-36. Just a few possessions later, Tyler Grove with the slam dunk for the Trojans, 47-38 McDowell. Fourth quarter, Grove with the fadeaway floater, 58-43 McDowell in front. McDowell earns a road victory over the Little Lions, 71-51. State College falls to 9-12 on the year and will face Tyrone on Friday night. Meanwhile, McDowell improves to 18-3 and will finish the regular season against Cathedral Prep on Friday. Coming up after the break, we'll show you the highlights of both PIAA and AAA, as well as Penn State wrestling.
Plus, we have a look at how Penn State men's basketball did against Iowa on Thursday.
But for now, here are some of the basketball scores from around the area. Welcome back to After the Whistle, brought to you by Com Radio, the Center County Report, and Penn State's chapter of Awesome.
On Saturday, Penn State men's basketball hosted Iowa for an exciting match, and we'll have more on that later. But right now, let's get into the latest of high school wrestling in District 6. In the PIAA State Wrestling Championships for AA, Bishop McCourt and Bald Eagle qualified from District 6. Bishop McCourt was victorious in its first round matchup, defeating West Perry 57-6. Bald Eagle, however, lost its first round match to Notre Dame High 41-16. The Eagles would drop their next match as well in a close loss to the eventual fourth place finisher Reynolds. Bishop McCourt continued its winning ways, dominating all the way to the championship match. The Crushers would then fall to Faith Christian Academy in the championship 46-18.
Let's take things over to AAA, where Central Mountain lost 34-19 to Bethlehem Catholic in the semifinals. However, they defeated Penn Ridge 28-24 to secure a third-place finish to close out their season.
And to talk more about all things PIAA wrestling, joining us now is sports reporter Nate Cobbler from the Center Daily Times. Wrestling is your beat, so we're happy to have you here with us. Welcome.
Thank you.
So tell me, going into the state individual championship rounds, who's looking like they might make it all the way?
Yeah, so I mean, really, there's a couple local kids here in Center County with three coming from State College and Pearson Manville, Asher Cunningham, and Nick Pavlechko. Bald Eagle area has Caleb Close that has a good shot as well to win a state title. If you look outside of Center County, you guys talked about Bishop McCourt there. They have a handful of guys that have an opportunity to get a state title, as well as West Branch's Landon Bainey, who was in the state finals last year, looking to try to get back to that point. And then you have Central Mountain's duo of Dalton Perry and Luke Simcox as well.
It seems as if Bishop McCourt might be the dominating team in individuals. Do you have any dark horses on your radar?
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to dark horses, when you're talking about kids from this area here in Center County, they really aren't dark horses to people in this area, in this region. So, but as far as the state level goes, you're looking at Bald Eagle areas, Caden Judice, Tanner Gano, Lucas Fye. You have Penns Valley's Ty Watson. You have Huntington's Andrew McMonigal. You also have in Phillipsburg Osceola's Caleb Hummel and Tyrone's Braden Ewing. So those would be ones to keep an eye on.
We'll make sure to keep an eye on them. Finally, Nate, can you talk about the promise of some of the Penn State commits coming here in the fall to join Cale Sanderson's crew?
Yeah, they there's three from District 6 here with like I said, with Watson there from Penns Valley. You have Perry from Central Mountain, and then also Mason Gibson for Bishop McCourt. Perry and Gibson both won state titles as freshmen. They'll look to get back to that point, and they know what it takes to get to there. Perry finished third in the state last year. Gibson hasn't been in the postseason for 2 years now, just because the school was on a postseason ban due to some alleged recruiting incidences. But he'll look to get back to there, and Watson, he'll look to try to climb the podium even higher because he's finished sixth now for the past 2 years.
It'll be good to see Gibson get back on the mat. There are a lot of wrestlers to keep an eye on over the next couple of weeks. Thank you, Nate, for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Nate. Well, speaking of Penn State wrestling, the #1 ranked Nittany Lions hosted #14 Rutgers for their BJC duel. It was a sea of pink and black as Penn State debuted their throwback uniforms, and all the stars came out to watch, including football head coach James Franklin and athletic director Pat Kraft. We'll start in the fifth bout where Penn State leads 9-3. #1 ranked Levi Haynes flips Dylan Weaver and pins him. Penn State leads 15-3. Going into intermission. Next, for the 165-pound weight class, #7 Mitchell Messenbrink dominates against Anthony White for the 18-3 tech fall. Penn State leads 20-3. On to the next class, 197 pounds, #1 ranked Aaron Brooks pins Michael Tranzo. Nittany Lions now lead 32-3. In the final bout of the night between heavyweights, it was Lucas Cochran facing off against #8 ranked Yara Slavikuski and upsets him by decision. And that would put the cherry on top as Penn State would win the BJC duel 35-3. Penn State improves to 10-0 on the season while Rutgers drops to 10-5. The Nittany Lions will stay home and return back to the Rec Hall for a Sunday duel against Nebraska at 4 p.m. Reporter Nico Rodriguez was at the BJC for that duel. Nico, tell us, what did you see?
Over the past 13 years, you have seen the Penn State wrestling program become one of the biggest dynasties in all of American sports. 10 national championships in 13 years. However, Monday's BJC duel saw a new milestone for the Nittany Lions. Let's take a look. The Penn State wrestling team welcomed the Rutgers Scarlet Knights to Happy Valley on Monday for the annual BJC duel. The Bryce Jordan Center was packed early as fans were eager to see Coach Sanderson and company decked out in the throwback black and pink while looking for the program's 1,000th win all time. The Nittany Lions would go on to win every single match except the 133-pound weight class. The Nittany Lions dominated Rutgers by a score of 35-3, giving them the milestone. Penn State now joins the likes of 5 other colleges to have 1,000 wins, including their Big Ten rivals in Iowa and Minnesota. This success would not come without Coach Sanderson's message to the team.
Yeah, I think just his track record proves itself. Yeah, just trusting the coaches, trusting their process, trusting our process.
It's been a monumental week for Penn State wrestling. It wasn't just their 1,000th program dual meet win, it was also Coach Sanderson's 200th career win this past Friday.
We're happy to carry this flag here for, a short time, but proud to be at Penn State, happy to be at Penn State.
The Nittany Lions have 2 more duels before the playoffs. They're currently 10-0 and sit as the best team in the country. Before the duel on Monday, Sanderson added another achievement to his ever-growing collection, getting his 200th dual victory as head coach against the Iowa Hawkeyes on Friday night. Reporting in studio, I'm Nico Rodriguez.
Coming up after the break, we'll show you highlights of Penn State basketball's comeback win against Iowa.
Plus, Penn State men's lacrosse bounces back at Panzer Stadium. We have the highlights from the win.
But for now, let's look at some upcoming high school wrestling events. Before the break, we covered Penn State's success in the BJC on the wrestling mats.
Let's switch to the basketball courts as we take a look at how Penn State fared against Iowa. The BJC was ready to go Thursday night as the Nittany Lions were in the building. Early in the first half, DeMarco Dunn drives by the Hawkeyes' Josh Dix. Penn State takes the 5-0 lead. Less than 4 minutes remaining in the first half, Kanye Clary, in his first game back from injury, cashes in on the Iowa turnover. Penn State maintains a 33-25 lead. Under 15 minutes to go, Iowa makes things interesting. This Tony Perkins dunk off the rebound cuts the deficit to 2. 46-44 Penn State, who would soon trail. Under 9 minutes to go, Owen Freeman with the dunk. Hawkeyes increase their lead to 63-56. Under 4 minutes to go, it's Ace Baldwin breaks a tie game with this three-pointer. Penn State gets a 74-71 lead. Baldwin then with another three as he's falling. Penn State up 84-73. The Nittany Lions captured their third win in a row, defeating the Hawkeyes 89-79. Penn State improved to 11-10 on the season before falling to Northwestern 68-63 on Sunday night. Iowa fell to 13-10 but bounced back with a 90-85 win over Minnesota. Kiera Baker was at the game. Kiera, what did you take away from the victory?
Thanks, Andrew. Penn State was trailing with under 10 minutes to go in the second half, but on the back of Ace Baldwin's big night, they were able to rally for the win. Penn State had success on offense all game, scoring the most points in the Big Ten game this season. Speaking of offense, Ace Baldwin's stellar 22-point performance is what willed this team to victory down the stretch.
I was a little bit careless with the ball in the first half, and as a leader, as a point guard, I just had to step it up, and that's what I did.
In the first half, Baldwin only had 4 points, but with the help of his teammates, Penn State was able to maintain an 8-point lead after the first 20 minutes. The game was close-knit the entire second half until Baldwin went on a tear for 13 points with less than 4 minutes to go. His will to win resulted him in scoring 18 points in the final 20 minutes.
Afraid. He's not afraid. The dude's not afraid. He's not afraid to be the guy to say, all right, I'm going to make a play, and if it doesn't happen, it's on me. And he's hard on himself. But he also works on his game, and he has that elite competitiveness.
This was Baldwin's second consecutive game, scoring 20 points, and his 5th overall this season. Penn State went on to face Northwestern on the road in breaking their win-game streak. Tonight, they'll face off against Michigan State in the BJC in hopes of getting back in the win column. Reporting in the studio, I'm Kiera Baker.
Thanks, Kiera. After being upset by Colgate in their season opener, Penn State men's lacrosse hosted the Villanova Wildcats in hopes of getting back in the win column. Panzer Stadium was sold out for this matchup. First quarter, Penn State's Matt Trainer goes behind the back to Matt Costin, who finds Kyle Lehman, and Lehman scores to give the Nittany Lions the 4-1 lead. A minute later, and it's TJ Malone who runs around the net and slings it into the bottom corner, extending Penn State's lead to 4 and celebrates with his teammates. Still in the first quarter, and it's Lehman once again picking up the loose ball and firing a shot past Anthony Wilson to give the Nittany Lions a 6-1 advantage. Third quarter now, Will Peden with the ball, and he passes it to Chris Jordan, who hits the jump shot. Penn State blowing this game open 13-2. Later in the third, and it's Luke Wallstrom fighting through the contact and dotting the corner. Nittany Lions cannot stop scoring. Penn State breezes past Villanova 18-10, thanks to a career-high 6 goals from Lehman. The Nittany Lions improve to 1-1, whereas the Wildcats fall to 0-1.
In District 6 football news, one head football coach is calling it a career after 45 years on the job. Central's Dave Baker stepped down from the position back on February 2nd. The 78-year-old finished with 245 career wins from coaching at Williamsburg and Central. He led the Scarlet Dragons to 7 District 6 3A titles, including a 4th straight this past season, and 4 state Final Four appearances. We wish Coach Baker the best and congratulations on an outstanding career.
What a great way to go out, winning the championship.
That's what I'm saying. And that's a wrap of all of our coverage on this week's show.
But before we go, on behalf of us and everyone at After the Whistle, we want to wish everyone a very happy Valentine's Day.
For more updates about our show's time and our coverage of games, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at ATWPSU. We'll see you next week here on After the Whistle.